Hello again and welcome back to another one. And if you followed this channel when the drama erupted in the beginning following the infamous Snoop interview, Eminem recently validated everything the so-called quote-unquote toxic stans said about Snoop's comments being out of line in a recent interview on Shade 45, and we'll be breaking this down and even throwing in some flashbacks to drive home the point. And funny enough, Snoop Dogg has finally acknowledged the diss on Zeus with a reaction that we will get to later. As we dive in, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll start with what many fans already said about Snoop's interview, and Eminem stated,
"A couple of months ago, he was doing an interview with The Breakfast Club. Somehow my name got brought up, and he was saying things about, I'm not in his top 10, and everything he said, by the way, was fine, like up to a point."
Major hip-hop outlets published the news to sound like Eminem fans were mad about a top 10 list when that was never the case. A continued attempt on their part to make Eminem fans appear crazy even when there was legit points being brought up. And although Eminem says somehow his name was brought up, it was actually Snoop that brought Eminem into the conversation. Here's a reaction. "I went back and played that interview 3 times. I agree with Eminem about the ending, but also nobody else brought up M. Snoop just brought him up when he was talking about Dre and just started blasting him. I think it's cause nobody talks about Snoop in the GOAT convos. And when this user says Snoop was blasting M, Eminem even talked about it, it was in the tone of Snoop's voice."
Like, everything was good until, it was more like, I think it was more about the tone he was using that caught me off guard, because I'm like, yo, where is this coming from? I just saw you, what the f? You know what I'm saying? It threw me for a loop.
Put Eminem in a position where he could be labeled as one of the top 10 rappers ever. I don't think so. But when you're talking about this hip hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
It's funny because even with the condescending tone that Snoop used to downplay Eminem,
shall I go on?
Eminem was still fine with his comments, but like every logical fan concluded, after watching the full interview, it was the last bit that Snoop shared that caused the whole drama. Listen to Eminem.
Again, I probably could have got past the whole tone and everything, but it was the last statement when he said, "As far as music I can live without, I can live without that." Now you're being disrespectful for, it just caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
Now, many people were misled by headlines when Eminem fans called out Snoop for the tone and last statement he made about Eminem, and if you followed the story on this channel, you know that even Crook initially didn't see the problem until he actually watched the clip, and this was his reaction to it. After watching it, I wouldn't have worded it like that if those were my feelings. And in this, Eminem, just to be sure, clarified again on why he took an issue with Snoop's comments. For the people in the back who probably missed it.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. My top 10, top 5 ain't gonna be the same as his, but everyone's entitled to their opinion, so how could I be mad at that? I wasn't mad about the opinion. It was after that. It was that the very last statement was like, oh, what the f?
And this was me in one of my videos about this back then. And once again, for the people in the back, this is not about a top 10 list. This drama literally split the fan base online, especially when Royce hopped on to back Snoop, which I covered on this channel.
And I have never, in my career, my entire career, ever said a disrespectful word about Snoop Dogg.
And those that called out Snoop were branded quote-unquote toxic stans by the cool stans on the internet. So after Music to be Murdered by Side B dropped and now this interview, here's a feed-in reaction to Eminem's latest interview. One user states, "Exactly. Man himself just confirmed what most of us quote-unquote toxic stans were saying all the way." Another user adds, "We all said it, but some cool stans called us toxic anyway and really got hurt. And when this drama erupted initially, my videos were pretty much fighting against the current of false information being spewed by hip-hop media." And before we get to Snoop's reaction to Zeus so far, here's another take that explains the situation perfectly. "This is exactly how I thought and said throughout the whole Snoop crazy moment. Exactly. And we were told we were being too sensitive, so I guess Booker Rhymes is mostly directed at Snoop then, since me and M are on the same wavelength." And moving on, Snoop has dropped a reaction to Zeus, and we got this thanks to a fan page on IG, and the page posted a snippet of Zeus with the lyrics to go with it on screen, and Snoop reacted with, laughing emojis, fire emojis, funny. And the user wonders, how the freak did he see this and comment? Hope he's been working on a diss in some new music, otherwise it's just social media trolling, as funny as it is. And so far, this looks to be the only direct reaction of Snoop to the song on the internet. Every other thing has been indirect or open to interpretation. Comment below, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.